Hello, we're in Luxembourg for Intertrust Group's Private Market Insights event. I'm Tony Griffiths with Global Fund Media, and I'm here with Ilias Georgopoulos, who is the head of Credit Suisse's third management company and is also a board member with ALFI. So, Ilias, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
One-stop shops. It's a very popular term when people are talking about data management and reporting requirements. But what does it actually mean?
One-stop shop, actually, I would say it's an evolution of the term. It came really with the evolution of the market, the relationship that the banks and the non-financials had with the financial services. And the world came back much more on the private assets when actually more and more the LPs and the GPs started looking into regulated business to actually enter the non-listed asset world. Indeed, we started actually having providers that came into that field, copying, pasting a little bit what the banks used to do and the service providers of financial groups used to do. But this time, they entered much more into the SPV world. They entered much more into the valuations, into the governance, into the substance, into the taxation, and any other, I would say, services that the LPs needed and the GPs required by law this time. So a one-stop shop today is still evolving. It hasn't finished. There are much more regulated parties in the game of the one-stop shop, and I think that the future of servicing will go more and more towards the one liability shop rather than the one-stop shop, with multiple services being under the umbrella of a one provider, but is clearly what the GPs and the LPs want. They want one counterparty, one relationship, and the extension of the services, which will come with the years to come.
So that's the theory behind the model. What about the model in practice? In terms of the actual services themselves, which services can be one-stop shop and which ones require a more flexible arrangement?
Look, when the regulator brought in AFMD, it actually wanted to standardize. The model of the regulator has always been this usage evolution. And when the AFMD came in, there actually has been a shock for most of the asset managers who were in the private business. They liked it because it is the LPs that wanted that. Because then they could create comparability, they could create transparency, they could create better reporting and better meet their needs, because it was institutional LPs, pension funds, insurance companies. They require a minimum of 4%, let's say, performance on their investment to pay their liabilities. Things like that came up, so it could offer actually comparability. So how will it evolve? It will evolve for me in the sense of every portion of the one-stop shop will actually become more and more focused, better. And as I said before, it might not be the one service provider that offers it all, but is the one service provider that will actually gather all under one roof. And I think this is the evolution of the service per function, whether it's at the SPV level or whether it is at a fund level. The MANCO and the IFMD, I believe, is clearly a key element, and the depository is going to play a key element as well. The one for the liability and the restitution, the other one for the oversight.
Very comprehensive. Ilias, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.